immediately you get Rasgulla.
Everything you desire, wish-fulfilling trees, everywhere. Beautiful lotuses, entire forests. Musk deers are roaming everywhere. There are two rivers in Kailash. One is Nanda and the other is Alaknanda. Nanda and Alaknanda. In that way, these two rivers, the Supreme Lord Govinda, Krishna also comes there sometimes to meet Lord Shiva. So that is why all the celestial apsaras, they bathe there in their waters, and there the kumkum of their body is mixed with their waters. That is why the elephants, they come and drink water there also in Kailash. So in that way the demigods, they saw a small lake known as Alaknanda, and on the bank of that lake there was a beautiful banyan tree. What was the height of the tree? Anybody knows? 800 miles high. 100 yojanas high banyan tree. What is the height of Mount Everest? Mount Everest maybe how many?
33,000.
Yeah. Very, very small compared to this tree. So this tree was 100 yojanas high, that is around 800 miles high. And under the shade of the tree, because the tree was very, very nice shade, and there were no birds, such a huge tree where birds can stay, there were no nests, and so everything was very peaceful. And who was sitting below the tree? Lord Shiva. This is the tree. The painting cannot show 800 miles high. But Lord Shiva is very peacefully standing. His left foot is on his right foot. This is known as Virasana. And his finger is pointing like this. It's Rudraksha. Mala is there in one of his fingers. And he is instructing Narada and Kuvera and Vyasa, and all of the great sages are sitting at his feet. And he was very grave because he has given up all anger. And the four Sanat Kumaras also are sitting. And Shiva is instructing them about what? About Bhakti Yoga, how to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. So in his head there is a crescent moon, half moon on his head. And because he's covered with ash, he's looking like an evening cloud. And in that way, all the demigods, Lord Shiva, saw Shiva sitting very peacefully. They offered their pranam and obeisances, and Lord Brahma started glorifying Lord Shiva. He says, my dear Shiva, you are Harihara. Means there is no difference between you and Krishna. You are a special avatar, Guna avatar of Krishna to annihilate this whole creation. So my dear Shiva, please, you are very forgiving also. Your other name is Ashutosha. You easily forgive. So please forgive these demigods and Raksha, and please restore them back to life. Brahma is praying. So Shiva became pleased by he said, my dear father, because Brahma is the father of Shiva. We saw yesterday where did Shiva came from? Third eye of Brahma. So he said, my dear father, but since Daksha's head has already been burned to ashes in the yajna, that is why Daksha will get the head of a goat. And Pusha, since his teeth is already been removed by Veerbhadra, he will be able to chew the food with the help of his disciples. They will help him to chew the food. And otherwise he has to just eat besan ka atta, chana ka atta. What they call it in Kannada? Allitu. Kadlitu. There were no dentists at that time. Even there were dentists, but Veerbhadra had removed them so nicely that no dentist could repair them. So, especially said they can eat powder, besan ka atta, he can eat if he wants, Shiva said. And then Brigu was so much attached to his beard, so that goat head which Daksha will get, the beard of that goat Brigu will get. So that Brigu will also get back his beard. and then all the other yakshas and rakshasas all the other brahmanas who are arms and heads have been severed by my rakshasas will have to make do with the arms of the Ashwini Kumaras. They will help them to get the arms. And in that way Shiva tried to make some compromise in order to bring them back to life. And Brahma said, my dear Shiva, let us go back to the assembly and let us, please, so that Raksha can get back his life. So in that way, under Shiva's direction, Raksha's goat head was brought and it was fixed on his body, and as soon as the head was joined to his body, immediately Daksha came back to his consciousness, and immediately he saw Shiva in front of him, and he fell down on his knees and offering obeisances. He told Shiva, oh, what a crime, what offense I have committed. I am the greatest sinful person. I have offended you. I got puffed up by my material position and power. So, my dear Lord, my dear Shiva, please help me to complete this sacrifice. So, again that sacrifice was started, and in the fire called Purodasa, oblations were offered by the Brahmanas by ghee and by worshipping, chanting the mantras of the Lord, and ultimately being pleased by the offerings now, because Daksha got a humble attitude, humble feeling. When a person becomes humble, then the Lord Vishnu is pleased. Unless one is proud and egoistic, then one cannot approach the Lord. So when Daksha became humble, even though he got a goat's head, but now his consciousness was right. The Lord does not see our external dress. We may be a goat or a cat or an animal or elephant, but if we are humble and we respect his devotees, then the Lord will surely come and accept our worship. So, when he was worshipped, the Lord came, the Lord exhibited a special form of 8 hands. In 4 hands he was carrying the Shankha, Chakra, Gada and Padma, and the other hands he was bow, shield and sword and arrow. Other 4 hands, arrow, bow, shield and sword he was carrying. And he was sitting on Garuda, and various kinds of paraphernalia. The white chamaras, they were flying in the sky, they were fanning the Lord. Nobody was fanning it, they were just automatically. They were flying in the sky. They were fanning the Lord. And when the Lord became visible, everyone got on their knees, offered obeisances to the Lord. And everyone accepted their own faults, and everyone glorified the Lord. In front of the Lord, we should not think I am great. We should accept our faults. Kim Dhruve Janardana. O Janardana, O Purushottama, I am so sinful that I am not even fit to chant your name. But my dear Janardana, by your causeless mercy, you are giving me a chance. So I am hoping against hope that you will be merciful on me. That is how we should pray to Lord. Though I am not qualified to even pray to you, but I am trying, endeavoring, I am doing this courage, sahas, to pray to you. So my dear Lord, please. So Shiva said that, oh my dear Lord, I am always fixed in meditating on you. That is why I am not disturbed by blasphemy or by praise. I am totally equipoised. And in that way, Lord Vishnu started speaking, and he said, Brahma and Shiva are my guna avatars. Though they actually, whatever you offer to them ultimately comes to me. Whatever we offer to the devatas ultimately comes to Krishna. Because Krishna is the he is the master of the demigods. So he is the ultimate enjoyer of the yagyas, of all our activities. In the Gita it is said, Bhaktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suridam sarva bhutanam gyatva mam shanti vrichati. I am the bhokta of all the yagyas. I am the enjoyer of all your activities and all your life practices. So you please, whatever you do, you offer it to me. Yad karoshi, yad ashnash. Whatever you eat, you offer it to me. Whatever you do, whatever yad tapasyasi, whatever you do, you take pain to do in your life, do it for my pleasure. Then you will become happy, because you are my part and parcel. So in that way, the Lord glorified the correct path of religion, and all the demigods were very happy, and Daksha got the darshan of the Lord. And Sati, meanwhile, she took another body as the daughter of the Himalayan king Menaka, and she attained the association of Lord Shiva again in her next life as Parvati. In that way, anybody who hears this pastime, Maitreya gives this benediction, he will certainly become cleansed of all contamination of material existence, and he will be able to see Lord Vishnu face to face. Hari Bol. So in that way, we conclude this pastime. We go over to the next pastime in the fourth canto of the great devotee, great child devotee, Dhruva Maharaj. All the children should hear this very attentively, because by hearing this Lila of Dhruva Maharaj, one can actually enter into Vaikuntha very easily. One can become immortal, because Dhruva Maharaj is the only person immortal in this universe. He is still staying there in the pole star. See the pole star? He is still there. He still has 150 trillion years to go. After that, the pole star will enter into Vaikuntha. So, Dhruva, before that I'll give you a rough background of Dhruva, Svansha. The four Sanat Kumaras, Narada, Ripu, Hansa, Aruni and Yati, the five of them, they never married. But other people, other sons of Brahma, Adharma married, and Adharma married to Mrisha or falsity. And there were two demons created, Damba and Maya. And from these demons, Niriti, from Damba and Maya was born Lobha and Nikriti. All the Asuras are getting born. And from Lobha and Nikriti were born Krodha and Himsa. And from the union of Krodha and Himsa was born Kali and Durukti. Durukti means bad speech. And Kali, all of you know. And by combination of Kali and Durukti, who was born? Mrityu and Bhiti. Death and fear. And from the union of Mrityu and Bhiti, who was born? Yatana and Niraya. Means tremendous suffering and hell. So ultimately, the ultimate offsprings were born, which were giving a lot of suffering. So ultimately, only the two sons of Brahma, Swayambhuva Manu and Shatarupa, they came out of Brahma's body. We saw yesterday, they gave birth to two, Priyavrata and Uttanpada. Priyavrata's Lila we'll see in the 5th canto. But Uttanpada had two wives, Suruchi and Suniti. All of you know this pastime, Dhruva. And out of that, Suniti was a very humble wife. But this king Uttanpada, even though he was the king of the whole earth, he was not giving very much respect to Suniti. He was treating her as a maid servant, Dasi. And all his love was concentrated for Suruchi. And who was Suruchi's son? Uttama. Uttama, who is sitting on the lap of Uttanpada, left lap. That is Uttama. He was the son of Suruchi. And Suniti's son was Dhruva. So one day while playing, Uttama was sitting on his left lap. So Dhruva came and gradually started climbing onto his right lap, thinking, it's my father, I can sit on his lap. Why not? It is my right to sit on his lap. And when he was normally Uttanpad would treat both of his sons equally, but because of Suruchi's presence, he was a little bit afraid to give respect to Dhruva. So That is why Suruchi understood this and immediately took advantage of her husband's weakness, and she started speaking very envious. She was very envious of Dhruva because he was her stepson, and she started displaying her anger. He said, "My dear Dhruva, you do not deserve to sit on the lap of my husband. You do not deserve to attain this throne. Why? Because you have not been born from my womb. You are not my son. You are not qualified to sit on your father's lap. Your attempt is doomed to failure, Dhruv. Don't try it at all, because you are not my son. If you at all desire, if you want to sit on the throne and sit on your father's lap, then what you should do? You should take rebirth from my womb. You should go and worship Lord Narayan in the forest, and you should request him to give you another birth as my son. Then you can sit on your father's lap. You should be born." So, and when Dhruva heard this kind of a talk, Dhruva was, inbred Kshatriya. Kshatriya spirit is, Kshatriya cannot take any insult. Kshatriya spirit is like that. So he started breathing heavily, just like you hit a snake. Now his snake starts hissing. Similarly, Dhruva started breathing heavily, he bit his lips. And he remained silent. But he saw his father was silent, he was not speaking anything because of fear of Suruchi. So he thought, there is nothing I can do here. So Dhruva immediately started walking away, and he walked to his mother, crying very, very pitifully. He was crying, and he went to Suniti, and he sat on Suniti's lap, and all the other maid servants of the palace, they came and informed Suniti what Suruchi has, what bitter words she has said, and after hearing that, Suniti also began to burn like a forest fire. Her lotus-like face turned very pale, and tears in her eyes, and she started to thinking of some solution to this problem, but she could not find any solution. So she looked at Dhruva and said, "My dear Dhruva, why are you sad?" She said, Suniti was one of the best mothers in the whole creation. The instruction which Suniti gave to her child, Dhruva, it is very, very difficult for any mother to give, but she has done that, and that is why ultimately Dhruva could attain the Lord. So such kind of mothers are very, very rare in Kali Yuga. So Suniti sat Dhruva on her lap, and she said that actually, Dhruva, what she said is right. Your father treats me like a dasi. I am not. Suruchi is the pet, and only Suttama has that, and he is favorable to that, to her and to her child. So, my dear son, I don't have any solution for you. She could see that Dhruva is determined to take revenge. Dhruva wanted some solution. Otherwise, he was so angry, the Kshatriya spirit. So Suniti said, even though I pacify him, he is not going to get pacified. So Suniti said, "My dear son, without any further delay, you should directly follow the words of Suruchi, because it is the Lord's arrangement that these words have come out from her mouth. So you should directly approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Narayan, Lord Krishna. You should go to the forest and approach him. Only he can provide a solution to your problem." So imagine, Dhruva is 5 years old. Which mother will send their child to the forest? 5 years old. Jungle. Where there are carnivorous animals and serpents to eat. But she was not afraid. She had full faith on the Lord. She told Dhruva, now is the time for you to go. She saw that Dhruva Kshatriya spirit will help him to attain the Lord actually, because of determination. So she channeled his spirit in the right way. So she said, she knew, because Dhruva wanted something which nobody else could give. Dhruva wanted a kingdom even greater than Uttanpad. And even greater than Uttanpad's father, who was that? Swayambhu Manu, he was the ruler of the universe. He wanted even a greater kingdom than Swayambhu Manu. What to speak of that? He wanted a greater kingdom than even his great-grandfather Brahma. Brahma is the whole master engineer of the whole universe, but he wanted something higher than even Brahma. So, who can give that? Nobody. So, Suniti understood only the Lord Krishna can give you this, what you want. Though it is very difficult actually, what you are wanting is very difficult to attain. So, in that way, when the Lord, when He told, therefore He said, go and approach the Supreme Lord. He is kinder than millions of mothers. And He can help you. When everything else fails, only He can help. When everything else fails in our life, whom do we approach? Okay. I thought we call up the police. Or we call up the life insurance company or a doctor. Or, we call up relatives. Everything else fails. How many of us remember Krishna? Only. Because He is the solace when everything else fails. So, if we remember Him actually throughout our life, then nothing will fail only in first place. But if we forget Him, then the thing will fail, and then again we'll have to cry out to Him. So, Suniti's instructions, Suniti was fully aware of the glories of the Lord. So Dhruva left home and he went into the forest as a small child. And when Narada received the news of Dhruva's going into the forest, Narada was astonished. Narada did not believe how a small child can have so much determination to go into the forest at such a young age of 5 years. He said, let me check up this boy. Who is this boy? How did he get this determination? So Narada came and Narada lovingly touched Dhruva on his head with his lotus hand. All auspicious hand. And that Dhruva was very fortunate. And then Narada started thinking, how wonderful is the Kshatriya spirit. Once they are insulted, they cannot forget it. They want the revenge. How wonderful this spirit is. Nowadays in Kali Yuga, how many times we are insulted? But we forget it so quickly. But that is why it is in Kali Yuga, nobody is Kshatriya. All of us are Shudras. Kalau Shudra Sambhava. Everybody is born from a Shudra because the Kshatriya characteristics, the Brahmana characteristics, the Garbhadhan Sanskar is not done during our birth. The mother and father have to do Garbhadhan Sanskar. Then only the child which is born is actually a Brahmana. So Garbhadhan Sanskar nobody is doing. In fact, in Kali Yuga nobody knows what is Sanskar. There are 48 kinds of Sanskar, right from birth till the death. There are 48 kinds of sanskaras mentioned which the parents should do for their children. But nobody is doing in Kali Yuga. So we are actually born, even though in a Brahmana family we don't have the qualities of a Brahmana. So, but Kshatriya, Dhruva was a Kshatriya and he made best use of that quality. And he was so attached to attain the result. And Narada actually was sent by Lord Krishna only to give right direction to Dhruva. But Narada, the duty of the Guru is not to throw pearls to the monkey. If you throw a pearl to the monkey, what will the monkey do? Destroy the pearls. No value. So the Guru, before giving the mantra diksha or before giving the mercy to the disciple, the Guru's duty is to test the disciple. Whether the disciple is a right receptacle for that mercy or not. So Narada decided to test Dhruva Maharaj. Said, Dhruva, you are a very small boy. Children have no conception of honor and dishonor. How come you are feeling so insulted? Children, they just keep on playing. And you heard the words of your stepmother. How come it has insulted you? Then he started preaching very high philosophy to Dhruva, Narada Muni. He actually was testing Dhruva to go back. Because he will give only the mantra only when he sees that Dhruva is really determined to achieve the Lord. Accepting the Guru is not for show or for fun. It is only for those who are serious to attain God. So he wanted to check up that. So he told Dhruva see Dhruva, whatever comes in our life is due to our past karma, our activities. Bhunjana evatma kritam vipakam. And one should accept that as a mercy of the Lord. Okay, you have been insulted because you must have insulted someone in your previous life. So now you have got insulted. Everything is happening because of our karma. So just accept it as a mercy of the Lord. Why are you getting angry? And what you are going to try is impossible, because many yogis have gone to the forest trying to attain Krishna, and they are trying for many lives, they are still standing there. They have not even touched the toenails of Krishna. They have not even seen that. So how do you think you will attain in such a young age? 5 years of age, how do you think you will attain Krishna? Later on when you grow up, you remind me, you call me, I will, at that time I will come. When you grow up, I will help you at that time to attain the Lord. And Dhruva, by the way, everyone should remain satisfied in happiness and distress. One should remain equipoised. One should not get disturbed. Whatever is not there we don't deserve, we should not ask for it. Desire and deserve. So we deserve because of our karma. So even if we desire something which we don't deserve, we are not going to get it. Like a beggar says, I want 1 crore rupees. Come on, right now. Will the beggar get it? No, because of the past karma, the beggar does not deserve it. So we should remain satisfied, and we should not hanker for what we don't have, and we should be satisfied with what we have. So hearing all these nice instructions from Narada, you know what Dhruva said? Dhruva very intelligent. He counteracted this instruction from Narada in an indirect way. He said to Narada, Narada, you are right, my dear Narada, my dear Guruji, what you are saying is perfectly right. But what you are talking about is, you are talking about these instructions for those who are in the mode of goodness. Whereas I am in the mode of passion. I am a Kshatriya. I want revenge. I am insulted. I am ignorant. I am angry. All your instructions are bouncing off my head. I cannot understand what you are talking about. So very intelligent. I am born in a Kshatriya family. So I cannot take this fault of others lightly. I have to reply back. I have to counteract my insult. Otherwise my heart is wounded, my heart is bleeding, and nothing can stop it. So this is, my dear Narada, what you have said is for Brahmanical spirit guys, but I am Kshatriya spirit. I cannot take your instructions. I want to occupy a position higher than Brahma, and I will get it somehow. So my dear Narada, you are just like the sun. You are traveling everywhere, giving light to everyone. Please help me to fulfill my desire. Don't try to dissuade me, but try to help me in what I am seeking for. So when Narada heard it, he was very, very pleased. And Narada said, okay, my dear son, I will teach you the path, how to attain the Lord by the Ashtanga Yoga system. Because Satya Yuga was there. In Satya Yuga, the process of attaining the Lord was meditation through Ashtanga Yoga. In Kali Yuga, nobody can do Ashtanga Yoga. That is why in Kali Yuga, the only way is Nama Sankirtan. But in Satya Yuga, the process of Ashtanga Yoga. So Narada taught Dhruva the process of Ashtanga Yoga. Of course, in Ashtanga Yoga also you require Nama Sankirtana, Nama Mantra. Without the mantra, you cannot get success in any yoga. So Narada told Dhruva, you go, the best place if you want to attain Krishna, you have to go to Madhuvan in Vrindavan, on the banks of the Jamuna. You take bath 3 times a day in the Jamuna, and you make a deity of Krishna from the mud of Vrindavan. And if you don't have time, you make a deity in your mind only, but you meditate on that form of Lord Krishna, and you gradually free yourself from all material contamination, and you control your life air and your mind and your senses, and you focus your mind on the beautiful lotus